Hey everybody, and Tony here with a tribute to yet another awesomely hilarious holiday special from Adult Swim. I'm of course referring to Feast of Alvis from Sealab 2021, which premiered on December 29, 2002. Much like my experiences with Space Ghost, The Brak Show, and Aqua Teen Hunger Force, just to name a few, Sealab 2021 is yet another Adult Swim show that has a very special place in my heart. I truly love this show for its dry humor, its absolutely off-the-wall characters, and the weird scenarios they get themselves into. And everything about this particular show is immensely quotable. I cannot think of a moment where I did not laugh every time I heard such wonderfully quotable lines, not only from the likes of Captain Murphy, but also from Marco, Quinn, Sparky, Debbie, and many other characters from this show. And I first caught this particular Christmas special when I was in Hawaii with my parents. And for the longest time, I have been wanting to watch this particular holiday special as an adult. Yes, I was only 13 years old when I first caught this, and it left a very strong impression on me. And as an adult, it still holds up so well. The episode starts off with a narration of the birth of Alvis, which is a clear reference to the nativity scene in which Jesus Christ was born. However, instead of Mary and Joseph, we see that there is a young woman named Delia, and this is set during the colonial times of the USA. And not only did Delia sleep with one man, but she slept with 5 other men. So she couldn't really decide who was going to be the father of her newborn child. And much like the nativity scene, she ends up giving birth to her child in a stable. Well, more appropriately, in the original nativity scene, Mary gives birth to her child in a manger. And Alvis's birth is one of the Immaculate Conception. And once that happens, there is a blazing comet which shines throughout the night to also signal the coming of their Messiah. We then cut to the present day, in which Captain Murphy is adamantly preparing the Feast of Alvistide, complete with a parody of Hende's Alleluia from the Messiah. In this particular version, it's Alvisluia, which I thought was very hilarious. And of course, the hilarity doesn't stop there. What really sells it is Murphy's utter incompetence, which makes this entire show so hilarious. And I have to give a lot of props to Harry Gause, Murphy's voice actor, for giving him that wonderful amount of not only stubbornness, but he was also able to give him a great amount of charm, which made him all the more infectious. And I thought that Harry Gauze's performance as Murphy was one of the most iconic characters he ever did. Now, going back to the story proper, Murphy then proceeds to blurt around why he loves Alvis so much and why he looks up to him as his savior, whereas the other crew members think that he is just completely loony. And he even proceeds to call Stormy a witch after he states that he is a Malkin. Now, it's so interesting about the religions in Sealab 2021 is that they're sort of reference to the other religions, like Alvians being a reference to the Christians and the Malkins being a reference to the Wiccans, which I thought was really hilarious. And at least when it comes to the religious part, they didn't really shove it down our throats, which is an absolute plus when it comes to this particular episode. They still managed to have a wonderfully dark sense of fun, complete with cynicism, yet also a fair amount of good cheer in their own special way. And that's also why I love this holiday special to bits. It's totally out there, it's a lot of fun, and I practically burst my rib cage from laughter after watching this particular holiday special. It's left me with a huge grin on my face, mostly because of how Captain Murphy proceeds to be so bigoted, and he just seems to rail on the others that they're not Alvians or even true Alvians, and it just becomes an overly insane climax in which Murphy, even though he's done his damnedest to make the Alvistide festival something worthwhile, do the guests end up moving away, especially a young woman with a baby girl, whom Captain Murphy mistakenly calls her a boy because of the name that she originally had, from Cody to Connie. And the woman then proceeds to say that Connie is actually a girl and has become so disinterested with taking part in the whole Alvistide festivities. And of course, Murphy did end up incurring some legal ramifications, which ended up getting him into a great load of trouble until he sees an apparition of Alvis to say what the true meaning of Alvistide is. And it has something to do with a lot of drinking. And of course, according to Hank Murphy, he even states that Alvis is all about the ham and pomp and liquor. And with those lines that he said, I found myself laughing on the floor because of just how overly hilarious that line delivery was. And as I stated before, Harry Gause definitely sold it as Murphy in this particular episode. So, I'm not going to mince words here. This is definitely yet another one of my most favorite Adult Swim holiday specials of all time. And I'm sure that those of you who watched Feast of Alvis also have some favorite moments. So please comment below of what your favorite moments are in this particular episode. I would really love to know. Well, that's it for my tribute to Feast of Alvis from Sealab 2021. Tune in much later for an Adult Swim show, which I never really caught that much, but thank goodness I managed to hear about its holiday special. And it's going to be Rick and Morty Anatomy Park. So until then, happy holidays, everybody.